Hi everyone, it's Kales. I know I'm starting with this very far away, but unfortunately, my phone case that David just got me, by the way, that stands up and lies flat, but it still needed to be propped up to see me, as you'll come to see as you watch this video as it progresses, because this is the fourth time I'm trying, or third, that this is going to move forward towards me, and I might have to adjust you again. I am so sorry that I have not gotten to learn any editing programs. My boyfriend has been just kind of inundated with work, and it lasts. See, I told you. You're getting closer to seeing Heath Ledger playing the Joker in the back. It could be triggering to some clowns. I'm not lying. Like, if you don't like clowns, I'm gonna try to keep you there. Okay, so I don't even think you can see that. Wonderful. That sounded great. Anyways, I'm going to get to work on some editing programs. I just kind of need to learn them. This is not something I ever thought I would be doing. So, and it's not in any line of profession that I've ever been in, which is basically office support staff and, you know. So, I wanted to do this video because I am taking a vacation with David down to San Diego for the weekend. We're leaving tomorrow, and I just dripped ice cream on my Ratatouille case. The movie, the Pixar movie, because I'm a grown up. The picture in the back, the one right there, is actually taken by one of my dear friends, and he's a photographer based in San Diego who will not be there this weekend, it looks like. So anyway, sorry about the editing. I promise that in the next few weeks this will get better. Thank you for hanging in there with me. I really wanted to record this video now, today, so I could post it, and kind of any reaction or feedback or whatever I could stay on top of while we're gone. And I wasn't quite 100% sure what I was going to film on. There's so many things, and there's so many facets of all of these topics that I just kind of felt like, God, I don't know where to start. And then as the world woke up this morning and we learned of Chris Cornell's now ruled suicide, last night after his performance. He's the guitarist for Soundgarden, and I believe he was with another band, but I'm sorry, it escapes me at the moment. He committed suicide last night, and it's horrible, and it is shocking, and it is sad, and it happens far too often. I want to broach this subject. This could be triggering to talk about this. So if suicide attempts, and or talking about it at all is triggering to you, please do not watch past this point, okay? Give you a second to turn it off. I really just want to eat this ice cream. That's all I want to do with my life. Okay, those of you who have stayed with me, I know of suicide as, I don't want to call it an old friend, but an old demon of my own. I have made, I had two idealizations, I think is how they say it, where I was thinking about it, and then two actual attempts. And that's not easy for me to admit, because a lot of times people who try to commit suicide or do achieve their end game, people are thought of as selfish, and how dare we. And I want to bring a perspective that I'm sure you can find in other places and from far more qualified or more professional people than me, but it's so not about being selfish. It's about feeling, even to me this so bothers me, because I know the feeling of I have nothing left to live for. Do I feel like that today? No. Will I feel like that tomorrow? I don't know. It's happened to me. Who knows when it's going to happen again? I stay on top of it. I stay on my medications. I see a psychiatrist and a therapist. I do my YouTube now vlog thing. I'm open and honest and very self-aware. I'm very vocal about where I am as far as mental state. If I might lean over to David at a dinner, or if we're home, but I mean, even discreetly, I will lean over and just say, I don't feel safe. And what he has learned, and what we have learned as a couple, to communicate that I don't feel safe doesn't always mean physically, like someone's going to shoot me, or this party is, we don't go to parties, but this party is just so crazy. It's, I don't feel safe being in my own skin right now. Or I don't feel secure. Or it's just, I don't feel safe. I don't feel like I trust my own mind right now. I don't trust, being here. I don't, whatever it is. So I have that now. 4 attempts later, or, 4 different episodes later, I finally have learned to go, okay, something's wrong. To constantly gauge myself and make sure and work on grounding techniques. 5 things I see, 4 things I hear, 3 things I smell, 2 things I can touch, whatever. There's different ways to do that. They also have those new spinners. I'm getting some. I know now kids are choking on them, or I saw one. Mom was like, don't let your kids have it, and it's a toy, it's for fidgeting, and it is a toy for that. But for people like me, those were actually invented, and for kids as well, to keep a fidgety kid. You kind of, you have these things. David and I looked at them last year, I think, at some point, and there was 4 different things you could do. You could push a button, you could do an on-off switch, a spinny thing. It was all built in this one little thing. Anyways, so I've learned to cope. I've learned how to express myself. I've learned when I'm starting to feel dangerous. I've learned techniques that can help me. I've had someone in my life who, there are very few people I feel that they cannot tell me that they are going to kill themselves. Okay, I want to make that known. There are 2 people in this entire planet that should never tell me that, because it shouldn't be on me. I'm not going to go who those 2 people are, but one of them's aware, and the other, he probably never will be. So, don't hesitate to tell me you don't feel safe. Don't hesitate to call me at 2 a.m. and, just be like, just stay on the phone with me. Talk about anything. I will. Half the time I'm probably up because I have insomnia. But, so I've made these 4 attempts. The 2, actual attempts were massive amounts of alcohol and pills. Different kinds at different times. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Obviously, I've survived both of those. I was in the ICU in 2000. God, when did the main trigger in that happened 2 years ago in August. And then it that's when it started. And then it just deteriorated past there. Sorry about my crazy hair today too. My bangs are too long. But I don't have a clip on me the one time. Anyway, so, you know, I tried, and the other 2 times, once I imagined with knives, you know, and one time, again, imagining with pills. So, you know, it is what it is. It happened. Please make sure you feel safe. And I want to tell you, okay, that's on the patient side, all right? As the family member, as the loved one, as the outsider, whoever you love that wants to kill themselves. Sorry, my cat is eating loudly. Here's what you can do. If you know the person you're with is, I have like a strand of hair. Oh, if you know the person you're with is feeling or is a depressed person, is suicidal, or has been previously, and you know you have this, set this up immediately with them. You can make whatever phrase you want, but my psychiatrist and kind of me and David, and she just repeats it, I think, to all of her patients. So we all know to say that, and I think it's a really great one to use. Just if it's your kid or your friend, just tell them, if you're not sure of yourself, or you don't know if you should be alone right now, or if you have thoughts about hurting yourself, like, there are times where I don't feel suicidal, but I know I shouldn't be alone right now, you know, plain and simple. Like, I'm not suicidal, but I feel depressed. I feel kind of how I felt when I tried. So as an outsider, if you know that they have that kind of issue, if they're your kids, your grandkids, your friends, lovers, whomever, if you have that knowledge, use that and establish a rule immediately. And by rule, I mean the deal. The deal is that you're going to tell me you don't feel safe, and then I'm not going to harangue you or harass you or do anything. I'm just going to stay with you. Even if you're walking 10 steps ahead of me, I'm just going to make sure you make it home. I'm just going to stay over for a cup of tea. Or I'm just going to make sure that I hand you off to someone else. And that's just it. And then when you're feeling better, and you will, or they will, and then you'll go on your way, and it'll pass. It usually does. It's when we're alone or when we feel alone. So just know that if I can ever be here for you, if I can ever make you feel less alone, I'm happy to do that. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. For anyone who doesn't have a home, a family, a friend, I'm here. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not. And when I don't feel safe, I tell the people I'm with that I don't feel safe. This last little section I'm going to talk about here, and then I'm going to wrap this up, is if your loved one is attempt suicide, usually suicide, you don't just go for the gun straight away. You know what I mean? Like, that is such a bad phrasing. Oh, I want to edit that so bad. You don't go full out. Usually it's thoughts first, and then it starts trickling in, and then something goes wrong. If you've seen the show 13 Reasons Why, or it starts with something, and for me it started with being molested at age 9, and then running away from that abuse, only to be hammered with more and more abuse ever since that moment. And then that's been me, the catalyst for everything in my life. I wish I could go back to being 8 and rewrite everything and change everything, but I can't. I'm here now. So if you have a kid, friend, anyone in your life who you don't know, maybe you know they're depressed, so maybe just start the conversation. Have you ever thought of suicide? Are you okay? How are you doing? You know, if you see signs that you're not sure, that seem odd, people getting rid of all of their things, not talking about plans for the future, just like maybe immediate plans. And I'm not saying like your friend's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the gas station, and then all of a sudden you freak out. But you know, start giving away the possessions. Start, or just stop talking about the future in general. Things like prom, or if that's a thing, or graduation, or getting married, or anything like that, like giving up that hope or that future, or then you know, and then just call 911. If you don't know what to do, but you are worried, call 911. Usually that person is going to have to say something, though, that is going to make the medical professionals take your loved one under a 5150 hold. So if they're not making suicidal claims and they say they're fine, there's really not a lot you can do. And I hate saying that because I hate that one person that gets that information and learns that they can do that. My ex-husband learned that. That really screwed us. That really screwed us. And I hate to say it, but it's true though. So if you feel like something's going wrong, get them help. Call 911. Even if they send out an EMT and they're like, oh, she's all right, they can at least call a medical professional, call a Kaiser, a Hoag, a United Healthcare, call someone who knows how to handle this. Call a professional psychiatric professional or a therapist. At least call and try. And lastly, I'll wrap it up with this. Thank God I was not successful in my attempts. Unfortunately, someone that I know did, and he succeeded. It was really awful. Sorry, I did not expect to cry. It has been a very long time. Most people didn't know that we were friends on this level. He was really popular and I was a fat kid. And he started this joke with me in high school, and every time I saw him, he would ask me if I was following him. Just like, are you following me? You're always around. I always see you around. And that started after I cried one day because someone said something about my weight, and the boys were talking about me, and they just made me hate myself so much more than I already did and suffer so much more. You know, they didn't know what was going on at home or abuse or what. They didn't know. They're just high school bullies, so they do what they do. And I think this particular person saw it that day, and we became friends. And we didn't talk all the time, but we talked. And he let me cry on his shoulder a couple times. And it was always, hey, you following me? So I'm going to end with this because I did not think I'd get so emotional. No one really knows, so maybe this video, if anyone watches it, that knows who I'm talking about, maybe it'll surprise you to know that it hurt so bad, because it did. But when it happened, I was just in the beginning stages of my drug addiction, and I just dove into pills instead of into tissues, honestly. And no one really knew the connection, so why bother? And that was really horrible. And I have to tell you, if you think your death won't matter, it will. I cannot tell you how it reverberated through the lives of every single one of us. And we weren't in high school anymore. It had been years since we had graduated by the time this happened. And it still ripped through us all and has left a hole in our hearts of many different sizes and calibers to different people. So please, if you're watching this and you feel alone, I am right here. If you are scared, I am right here. if you're a mom or a dad or a family member, boyfriend or girlfriend, and you don't know what to do, reach out and I will do anything I can to help you. No one should have to go through this. And to the wife and family of Chris from Soundgarden, I'm so sorry. It's like when Robin Williams died, a lot of people don't realize the pain and suffering other people are going through. You know, I just read a report where his wife said that he wasn't depressed, he wasn't suicidal, he wasn't. And just remember, guys, he had all the fame and money and drugs and whatever. He had everything we are all chasing, and it wasn't enough because things aren't enough. You have to be okay with you. And what better time to start working on you than now? So if you've made it to the end of this video, leave me some kind of emoji, a heart, or like a lion, like, you know, the heart of a lion. Why don't you do that? And then I'll know you've watched it all and seen me cry over my ice cream that I'm now gonna go eat. Goodbye all. I will see you next time. Remember, you can like and subscribe to my channel. Like this video, please do. Subscribe to my channel, please do. You can also find me at KalesBB at here. At the same way it's spelled here. Okay. Here, Instagram, and Snapchat. Okay. Those 3 ways. Otherwise, reach me on here. And if you reach out and know me personally or see me on Facebook, let me know if you would like me to hit you up and see how you're doing. All right. Bye, guys.